behind the cape. We are going to, unfortunately, start off with the bullshit that is Blade. Because we always got to talk about Blade. Because there's always some bullshit with Blade.
Hey, is ATL Blurred in the chat? I've seen him in here before. I think we got into a little tizzy over this on Twitter. ATL Blurred. You've seen that name in our chat before, haven't you?
I've seen Blurred. What have I seen?
I got into a back and forth with this man on Twitter over Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, no, it's curtains for Blade. I mean, we all know Blade isn't coming out.
So I retweeted a tweet that says Mahershala Ali is reportedly increasingly frustrated by the delay of making Blade. Marvel Studios presented Ali with a list of directors for consideration following Bassem Tariq's exit. Is that dude's name? Bassem Tariq?
Yeah, Bassem Tariq. That's what I got on your retweet. No,
Hold
but
on,
the
bro.
last
it was Jan Dimash.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Bassem?
Are we on our fourth director now?
That's what I could have sworn there was somebody in between Bo
You did say something
DeMaio.
about that last time.
Yeah, there was somebody in between Bo DeMaio and Mr. Dimash.
Yeah. But I saw something else that said, no, like this one says, this is an article from Vulture on June 12th that says Marvel's Blade starring Mahershala Ali has gone through 2 directors. And then Variety said the same thing, same day. Filmmaker Jan Dimanche is no longer set to direct Blade.
Again, who is Bassem Tariq?
I don't know. Maybe they gone through a third one.
I retweeted it. I said, I know this whole saga is allegedly partially Ali's fault. Shout out to Darius on the scoop for that. But this sure does sound like more executive level failures and bad staffing decisions, per the usual for Marvel. Like, okay, let's spin the spin the wheels on this. So it's Mahershala Ali's fault for picking Dimash and demanding that Marvel hire him, right? First of all, who is in charge of actually hiring an individual to Marvel Studios? Is it Mahershala Ali? Regardless of what he requests, is he still in charge of hiring this person?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Is he in charge of firing this person?
No.
And then ultimately, even if you listen to every word he says, every last suggestion that he has, if you do it and it still doesn't work out, who's ultimately responsible?
Marvel.
So what the hell are we talking about here? What the hell are we talking about? The big story, the big reason why is that he's been very picky about the story and he's been hard on directors. That's why it's his fault? Oh, y'all got to come with something more than that. You got to come stronger than that, because that sounds like studio propaganda to me.
I'd agree with that.
He didn't hire Jan Dimash. He didn't fire Jan Dimash. He didn't hire or fire Bo DeMaio. He didn't write a script with lackluster fighting scenes where he was the 4th lead in the movie. He didn't write a script where he would eventually be passing his mantle off to a character that nobody knows. He didn't write a script that apparently disaffected all of the stars that were supposed to be adjacent to Mahershala Ali in this project. Delroy Lindo, Mia Goth, gone, both of them from this project. So now at this point, we don't even know who the hell else we're supposed to be excited about seeing in this movie.
And he also didn't give them a $50 to $60 million budget.
Didn't write a 90-page script. Didn't try to hand it in. He didn't do any of that. And being that he didn't do any of that, I think he has every right to be frustrated with it and ask for changes.
Yeah. No, I none of us like where the direction of this movie is going, obviously, but it's just every week now we're hearing more and more news as to why this film is just not happening. It's just not. It's just not.
It may happen. I don't think it's going to happen with Mahershala Ali. I don't think it's going to happen with Mahershala Ali, which is going to doom the film. Which is going to doom the film.
Yeah.
They cannot. And I'll go ahead and make one of my guarantees. Make it a Charles Barkley guarantee. They absolutely cannot pivot to another actor on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can do it. The problem will be now when they see it, you've accustomed everybody for the last going on 6 years now that Blade is Mahershala Ali. People have been doing fan art. We've been waiting on teaser trailers. You put the man's voice in a movie. Trying to pivot to a Trevante Rhodes, trying to pivot to a Yelena Noel, trying to pivot to a David Washington at this point is going to fracture whatever interest you had going for this movie already, not to mention it was a cheap film at that.
Yeah.
You were only putting up $50 million for this. It's not enough weight there, man. And if people come in still expecting to see Mahershala Ali, which they will, because people don't follow trade news, not normie fans, and then they see Trevante Rhodes up there, they're going to be like, it's not Mahershala. Yep. And then from that point on, you've already lost them. Not to mention your dwindling reputation over your brand as it is. But to let a 2-time Academy Award winner walk away from a Blade project, a character that literally saved your company. I don't think that's a blow that they can stand.
Do you think they could have gotten off a $50 to $60 million budget for this film if they had done everything right?
It would have been less concerning if the things had flowed a little bit better. I don't understand how we are struggling so hard to make a movie about vampires. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And if I was Kevin Feige, if I wasn't over at Deadpool and Wolverine, all of my time would be spent on Blade. I don't know, what else are you doing that's more important than Blade?
The Agatha show.
Lordy.
Yikes. R.I.P. to Donald Sutherland, famous for MASH, amongst a ton of movie work.
Also, President Snow from the Hunger
President
Games
Snow?
series.
Sure. Citizen X.
Yep.
He was in a lot of different movies.
He was one of those guys that just always looked old. I don't think he's ever... Donald Sutherland has never looked young. Even when he was young, always looked old.
Yeah. No, I agree. Also gave us Kiefer Sutherland for 24. I just wanted to mention
That's
24.
his family?
Yeah, that's his son.
What? I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's an actor.
He's also got other sons, I think, that act.
I don't know why I never put that together.
Yep, no. That's Pops. But
Nice.
R.I.P. to Donald Sutherland. Okay, Russo Brothers, Netflix project that will star Millie Bobby Brown, of all people.
Which
Obi
means Drake
from
will be at the
Loki.
shoots.
Yo. Giancarlo Esposito.
No, give
Anthony
Obi's
Mackie.
real name. Say his real name.
No. I literally wrote Obi.
Oh, wow. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. Nope. I'm not going to.
You not even going to try?
Shout out to Obi.
No. His real name ain't Obi. He's not Obi in real life. He is...
He gonna try, y'all.
He
gonna try.
Ki Hugh Kwan.
Nope.
Ki Hugh Kwan.
I don't feel like you even said that with confidence.
Ki Hugh Kwan. We got Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ki Hugh Kwan, and Giancarlo Esposito. Whoa. Anthony Mackie is going to play the taxi driver. And also Brian Cox is in
Oh,
there.
God. Not an ad. What is this?
Please welcome to the Late Show, Ki Hui Kwan.
Wow.
Ki Hugh Kwan.
No, well, no. He said Huey.
First of all,
Huey Kwan.
First of all,
but you did get it very close.
Colbert has a dead tongue. He probably mistakenly said it wrong.
No, it's Ki Huey Kwan. No. And he said that's what he said. But
I said Ki Hugh Kwan.
It's Huey.
I don't think Asians pronounce H-U-Y, Huey.
That's what he said.
Right. Who do you think is... You think Colbert is pronouncing that correctly?
Fine. Let's see if Jimmy Kimmel's right. Oh, you really want to do it? Oh, okay.
Fam, can you find me an Asian person to pronounce his name?
Ooh, or maybe he'll say it on Friday.
I haven't much sleep last night. I think it was only 1 hour.
Okay, come on. Intro.
I just want an Oscar.
Yes, you did. Now, what's your name?
I was just like a normal kid.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's Ki Huey Kwan.
It's not Huey. That doesn't even sound like... Have you ever heard an Asian name with the word Huey in it?
Yeah, but it's not H.
It's not pronounced Huey.
But it is Huey.
I don't think... H-U-Y
Yeah.
would be Huey. Huey. I'm
You
trying.
just
I'm
said
trying to make it-
Huey, but you said it like a
No.
little different.
right. It's pronounced different.
Chat, what we talking about, bro?
Do y'all think Huy is Huey
What we talking about?
for an
chat?
Asian man? Does that sound right for y'all?
No, but Key does. Key Kwan.
Ki Hu Kwan.
Huey Kwan.
Ki Hu Kwan.
Huey Kwan.
It's Ki Huey Kwan or Ki Hu Kwan. Whose pronunciation sounds correct?
His name is Rich Huey Kwan.
It's not Huey. Huey like Huey Freeman?
No, because that's Huey.
No, but this
but
pronunciation is the
it's
same.
pronounced the same.
Stop it.
But it's two different names.
Find somebody pronouncing this man's name.
No, we not about to go down this rabbit hole. Okay. Right. Mark got it. Is Shang-Chi 2 even a thing anymore?
I hope not.
Gross.
I hope not. But you know what? That's another one of those plot threads that they never capped off. So you would think it probably has to be.
No, facts.
At the end of Shang-Chi where they were talking to Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner.
It's Shang Huey Chi.
Oh my.
Anyway, yes, he's going to be in the movie along with Giancarlo Esposito, Anthony Mackie,
And Drake's girlfriend.
and Drake's girlfriend, yes. And Chris Pratt. I think I said Chris Pratt already.
You said Chris Pratt. Yep. Oh, and Brian Cox.
And Brian Cox.
But
So-
he'll be able to see in this show.
But it's a Russo Brothers project. So,
Is that offensive?
what?
That he just be walking around pretending to be blind and then walk off set and be, normal?
Well, Stevie Wonder's been doing it for years. I couldn't resist. He's been doing it for decades.
Yikes. Not cool.
He looked through a camera lens. All right, shout out to Stevie. If you're watching.
What if he really did have like a experimental surgery and just didn't want to tell nobody? And so he just been out here living his life. People been fucking around with him. I heard a story about Stevie Wonder fighting somebody one time, and it sounded impossible. But having eyesight when no one else thinks that you can see would explain that, certainly.
I'm telling you, bro. That's the thing.
People have talked about playing basketball with Stevie Wonder, and I just be looking at him like, are you stupid?
It's one thing to
Are
have
you dumb?
incredible
Are you dumb?
hearing, but it's basketball. That elbow coming for your face, Stevie.
I'm going on fast breaks every time. I'm running the hell away.
Stevie, how did you dodge Draymond's elbow? What's happening here? Anyway,
You see Stevie Wonder in a celebrity game.
I do too. That would be quite the event.
That would be a sight to see.
Brandy also has a new project. You want to tell me about that?
Brandy has a new movie out called Front Room. It looks like a horror film. Trying to get the directors' names up here.
Was she not in a horror film like at the height of her career?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Or I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Sam and Max Eggers. And honestly, I was not feeling this until I actually got through. It's an A24 film. Until I actually got through the trailer. I think a lot of people are going to have that knee-jerk reaction watching the first 30 seconds of the trailer. The easy setup. I won't give it away. I encourage all y'all to go YouTube it. But the first couple of minutes is her, introducing herself to her new husband's family, or her old elder. I think it's his grandmother or something like that.
Okay.
White man, so obviously white woman. Brandy being black, and so there's obviously some trepidation there. She's saying some off the wall things.
The grandma is saying some off the wall things?
Yeah, and then they have to move into the house. Or the grandma has to move into the house, and she takes over the nursery. And that's where I was kind of like, what the fuck is this? And then, some other stuff start happening, and then, kind of opens up visually, and the music intensifies, and it actually looks like a pretty good movie. So I might be giving that one a look.
It sounds like Brandy Get Out.
I think it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that.
Does she make Brandy tea at any point?
No, I don't think it's a whole body snatchers thing, but it could be. It could be.
Does she?
I guess we'll have to find out.
Does the grandma want to take over Brandy's body so that she can sing "I Wanna Be Down"? Let you know it, I wanna be down.
I don't think this grandma knows that
I wanna
song.
be down with you. No, she wrote it as Brandy.
Okay, so what's next up on the list?
Why is it when I sing a song I gotta get cut off? That's crazy.
No, I'm not cutting you off. I was just trying to give you a nice, easy segue out of that joke.
That's crazy. You mentioned an acolyte debacle.
Oh my god. So apparently, where do I even fucking start with this show?
With the acolyte.
It is so amazingly bad. It is so terrible that the section of the fan base that's going to stand up for anything that Lucasfilm does had to go into overdrive this week and go after a fellow YouTuber. So I know if you guys have ever seen Star Wars Theory and kind of his reviews on the Acolyte so far, and you know some of the things that we've all been seeing as Star Wars fans. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm just gonna call him Squidhead guy.
It's Ki Hui Kwan.
No, no. It's not Squidhead guy. What is his name?
Squidhead? Squid Game?
Kahadi Mondi shows up in the most recent episode of The Acolyte, speaking specifically about this situation where we have a potential Sith master training an apprentice and going about killing Jedi and what have you, when about 75, 80 years into the future, when we're considering letting Anakin Skywalker into Jedi training, the very same guy, the exact same guy. I mean, they go out of their way. It could have easily just been an alien that looks like him 75 years ago. No. They went out of their way to make sure it was that same guy, says in Phantom Menace, but the Sith haven't been around for 100 years. Now, wait a minute, motherfucker. You are the same person on this hologram over here talking about the situation, as well as this person 75 years in the future talking on the council about not seeing Sith. So what the fuck is going on here? We're misfiring, right?
Plot hole.
Big hole. But it wasn't just that. To compound that and to, you know, I guess fight racism somehow, even though that has nothing to do with what we're talking about
at all.
Well, at least what we're talking about here.
Sure.
There's a site. It's called Wikipedia.
Okay.
Right? And so they catalog canonical history for Star Wars.
Sure.
Do you know these motherfuckers went back and changed his date of birth to fit what was going on in the Acolyte? Like, how big of a shill do you got to be? How big of a shill?
That's pretty trash.
Like, fam, you are a Star Wars Wikipedia. You are the holder of information. You should be the main site holding these fucks to accountable.
That's trash.
That is absolute garbage. Apparently, he was arguing with them online, and you know some of their fans went after him and stuff like that. I'm really tired of all of this. I'm about to give Star Wars up for good. I'm so glad that we're getting more Dune content because it's going to give me something else sci-fi-esque to watch because I'll never get on the Star Trek train.
Well, I got something else you can watch sci-fi related, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But you know what that reminds me of, them changing that, is how South Park, shout out to anybody who watches South Park.
Timmy, come on.
There's a character on South Park named Token. He's the black kid, right? And throughout the entire series, everybody has known him as Token. Token Black is his name. And it's supposed to be a funny joke that he's the Token Black on the show. They went back and made his name Tolkien, like J.R.R. Tolkien, and then changed everything. Even the video game is changed to have it Tolkien.
After you've made it as offensive as you've already made it, it's kind of stupid to go back and try to fix it.
No, but they did it as a joke to make everybody be like, no, his name was definitely Tolkien. But then they changed everything, so literally everything says Tolkien now.
Yeah, maybe that was... Okay, well, I don't know.
Did it to
I'm not a South Park fan, so I'm not going to tear it apart. Sure, yeah, they definitely gaslighting us, yeah.
Yeah. That shit was funny. I thought it was funny. The sci-fi thing I was talking about is the Will Smith sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That I didn't think about until you said that. Yeah, he's going to
Where
be
was
starring...
that? I was already talking about this. Who was that talking? Was it on Thursday? Okay. Yeah.
Probably.
A point I brought up is that the concept of the movie is that Will's character invents some sort of technology that other people don't want him using, and so they try to discredit him and try to get him out of the way. That concept of people coming up with inventions or patents that are going to change human life as we know it, and they come just short of getting the patent, and then they die shortly after, is a very popular story, right? That's kind of happened all over the Western Hemisphere. So like I think that this movie is going to draw a very particular crowd, a very tinfoil hat conspiracy crowd, which I don't know if that was necessarily what they're going for, but you slap Will Smith's face on the face of a sci-fi conspiracy, you're gonna bring the freaks out for sure. The good and the bad.
Sure. Well,
the good and the bad.
That's
so
a good thing for their pockets.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the crowd they were necessarily trying to get, but they're gonna be out there for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm just excited to see, obviously, after the success of Bad Boys 4, to see, if he can get back into his bag of starring in sci-fi films.
I'm gonna need Michael B. Jordan to wrap up his goddamn love fest with Ryan Coogler so we can get I Am Legend too. We can get started on that. Honestly, if I had my choice, I would definitely get I Am Legend 2 out before this damn Coogler vampire movie. Mm-hmm. But his boyfriend's shooting the film, so his boyfriend, you gotta go call him. That's what he be acting like before. He dropped everything for that man.
Yeah, no, that's true. So the last thing we got to talk about is last Friday. Apparently, Ice Cube is going to start work on last Friday without anybody.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This one kind of pisses me off because I felt like he took so much time waiting for Chris Tucker to get it together and be like, all right, I'll do it. And then in the midst, we lost Pops, we lost Tiny Leaster. Like it's sad that we had to lose people to get to this point. So honestly, I don't want Chris in it. I would be satisfied if Chris wasn't in it because you held up literally. They held it up over you. Once he got the studio back from, was it Touchstone? Once he got the rights back from Touchstone? Or was it New Line? From New Line Cinema.
Yep.
Right? It was a go. Only thing you had to do was say you was down to come back to complete the saga. You could have been a completely different Smokey. You doing all this talking about, oh, y'all don't want to be in there and smoking weed. Man, the amount of stuff I've seen you do in movie roles since then, and you talking about you don't want to be on TV smoking weed is insane. Bernie Mac is also unable to make a return.
And then Ezell.
Did Ezell pass?
Yep.
Damn.
Anthony Johnson. Yep. That was in 2021.
Yeah, man. We lost a lot of people waiting on Chris Tucker, so I feel like just off of GP, he shouldn't be involved.
And then everybody's just going to be way older. Like, we're talking about an older Ice Cube, Mike Epps, Chris Tucker.
It will actively piss me off if I see Chris Tucker in this movie.